Appreciate y'all joining us. If you would, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're marching our way on up to 1,000 subscribers, and we'd love to have you join along as we continue to build our homestead and our farm here. So you might be wondering why I'm taking the time to stack these rocks in here in just this one spot. This is the lowest spot here in our driveway, and the water comes rushing down the driveway when we get a heavy rain, hits this low spot and blows out the side. And we've got a bit of erosion started in here. You can see it's completely undercut this root here. And so we're trying to get these rocks built up, and we'll eventually get them stacked all the way up in here to stop this erosion from being as bad as it is. And you probably can't tell on camera is that the tire tracks here have settled in pretty good compared to the middle and the edges. And so what happens when we get a rain is the water comes in and way up here at the top, and it just collects and collects and collects, and has basically created a gutter. And it runs all the way down the hill here, right down here to the low spot in our driveway, and just blows out the side. This area gets a little bit of flooding in it. You can see there's still some water standing, and we had just a little bitty shower yesterday, and the water's still sitting in here. The water comes in and pools in this area, and then of course it's going to take the path of least resistance and right on off the side of the driveway it goes here, and it takes our soil and our bank with it. So when we bought this property, this driveway here was about half as wide as it is currently. I spent, I don't know, probably 25, 30 hours with the tractor in here that very first summer, just widening it out and digging into this bank. We've got more work that we need to do. We've got some old stumps here that need to come out, and I'd like to take this bank and, you know, take this drop off out and taper it in a little bit so we could remove a little bit of material right here along this lip. Obviously that material would then go over here to help buffer up the side. So we've piled rocks in here to help slow the water down. Need to come in here with the box blade and fix this driveway and level it out a little bit more. What we also need to do is cut little channels in here every so often so that the water doesn't start at the top up here and just run all the way down in a straight line and cause a problem at the bottom. What we want it to do is come in and maybe run 10, 15, 20 feet and then drain off the side. And then whatever collects for the next 10, 15, 20 feet will drain off the side, so that it incrementally diminishes the volume of water that comes down this driveway, and then we don't have a big blowout down here at the bottom. If you've seen any of our garden videos here lately, you've seen me pulling rocks out by the shovelful, by the bucket load. All of the rocks that you've seen come out here today are from the very first year that we opened up the ground. These were all just right at the surface or within the first 5 or 6 inches of topsoil. And they just, you know, when we tilled the first time to break the ground open, this is what came up. When we just picked and picked and picked, and I knew I'd need them at some point, so I just stacked them around that pile of dirt until I knew exactly when and where I would need them, and lo and behold, this is where I need them. So after them sitting there for almost 2 years, we have been able to use these rocks. In all, at this point, we are at about 20, I think we're at 18 bucket loads of rock that have come out of the garden. When I say bucket loads, I don't mean 5-gallon bucket loads, right? I'm talking, we're talking about tractor buckets full of rock. Alright y'all, so you may be wondering why I didn't just take a big old scoop out of the dirt pile and dump it in here. Here's why. These are roots or rhizomes to this grass. If you get just one little segment out of here and there, you'll be fighting it until you're dirt, right? I mean, it'll be a lifelong battle. This stuff is so prolific, and every section has the capability to produce new shoots, an entirely new clump of grass, which then will itself send out more roots. So we wanted to take our time, sort through this dirt at least as best as we could, and get as much of, if not all of this stuff out. I also came up with a few rocks out of the dirt pile. It's good to get those out as well. So we've got some good, mostly clean dirt. Clean dirt, maybe that's an oxymoron, but you know, we've removed a lot of the stuff that we don't want from the dirt. So when we go to plant in here, we should be good. Now, I do expect this bed to settle. In the bottom, we've got a bunch of pine shavings from our chicken incubators. We have got last year's okra stalks, probably a few corn stalks, and some other compostish type stuff out of the garden. And as that decomposes and the dirt in and of itself settles, we'll see a full settling, probably of maybe even 6 inches out of here over the course of the next several months. So we're going to just routinely chunk more dirt in here and eventually get these filled and stabilized. Did somebody say taters? I got your taters, Tater. Here's our tater bucket experiment. Looks like we've got one dud here, but everybody else has got taters. Some of them, as you can see, it's time to heal up just a little bit and pull out a few weeds. Right next to it are our raspberries that we started this year. We have got, what, 12 raspberries? These are the blueberries that we started this year. We got 4 different kinds of those. And actually, look yonder. There's a blueberry bud, very first year. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.